Hey, I'm Dave from Catalyst Audio. We're here at NAMM 2017 with Sonicstate, and I'm just going to show off a couple of the modules that I'm showing here. So first of all, I've got Time0. This is a generative pattern sequencer, and what it allows you to do is you can go in and you can set different probabilities for triggering gates, ties, accents, slides, or notes on any of these steps. Basically, you can set the probability between 0 and 100%, and then you can randomize that at either the press of a button or at a clock pulse here to the randomized input. You can also exclude any of those steps from being randomized.
So is it just a trigger sequencer, or is it?
No, it outputs notes. It's got a 1 volt per octave output. So it creates like melodies, patterns, bass lines. You can also transpose what comes out with the CV input. And it has a built-in quantizer with 16 different scales so that what comes out, stays musically useful, depending on what that means to you. It also has a gate output, an accent output, and a reset output. And additionally, it has a stepped random CV, and this guy changes to a random voltage every time that the 1 volt per octave output also changes.
So is that is the random CV unquantized CV?
Yes, the random CV is unquantized. It also does all the normal, 16-step sequencer, Eurorack type stuff. Like it's got, it can move in either forward, then backward, ping pong, random, drunken walk modes. You can set the sequence length between anything between 1 and 16 steps. I think I mentioned that you can exclude any particular step from any of those particular randomizations that you want. So for example, if you come up with a pattern that you really like, but you want to continually regenerate new notes for the last 4 steps, you can set that up to do that. So that's pretty much it.
So what would be the price on that?
This one is available now, and it's $399 US.
Excellent, thank you.
And it's out at Analog Haven, Foxtone, I think a couple other places also.
And you've also got another set of modules just above that, right?
I do. I've got here, I'm working on a set of recreations of the Buchla 100 series modules, and these guys are all based directly off of the 1968 Buchla 100 series schematics. They're all through-hole, they're all 100% discrete electronics, there are no op-amps in any of them, and they sound amazing. I've had a couple of people come by that have actually used 100 series modules and have said that they sound just like the real thing. So I've got the control voltage processor here, the Model 156. I've got the dual sine to sawtooth generator, the Model 158. I've got the mixer here, Model 106, and the dual attack generator, that's like envelopes, and that's the Model 180. And I have a quad voltage controlled gate, which is essentially 4 VCAs, that's the Model 110. And these are also really interesting because as per the original schematics, they all just run between ground and the positive rail. So you get some interesting interaction with things like the mixer, where it has to level shift everything up before it mixes it, and then shifts it back down so that it's, like normal audio levels. So what goes in basically is not exactly what comes out. You get some really interesting distortion and saturation on stuff like that. So these are really cool. Do you want me to give you a quick example?
Yeah, let's hear what's
going on. Okay, so I'll just turn up. This is the 158 that I have, and I actually have it set up so it is cross-modulating itself, which is one of the sounds that it can do that most other things can't really. So it does this great sound where unstable. It just makes a really interesting sound. So that's a quick example of that guy.
Excellent. So why do you think the kind of Buchla sound is so popular at the moment?
It's just really unique. I think after so many years of people being interested in subtractive synthesis, and I mean, I love the normal analog subtractive synthesis also, but it's a really unique sound that's different than the typical Roland or Moog type of sound that we've all heard for the past 20 years. It still sounds new and fresh to me.
I mean, because that's weird, because it's been around since the 60s.
It has, but
I suppose people aren't as familiar with the sounds.
I mean, it really hasn't had the popularity until, I think until modulars really started to get more popular, and people like Make Noise and Verbose have really pushed that kind of West Coast sound, and so people are getting more familiar with it. So this is just fun for me. I love this kind of stuff, and just taking it back to like the earliest incarnation is really fun for me.
So when are these going to be available?
These are all just prototypes right now, so I'm hoping they'll be out in maybe 3 to 4 months. I need to make a few changes and work out some of the distribution and stuff like that, but hopefully soon. And
do you have any kind of like price range, or
I don't yet. They're all through hole, so they're going to be a little bit more expensive than if it was getting manufactured by somebody. But I don't really have any prices at the moment.
No problem. Okay, excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you.